about the November intake. It's for people that have got the visas expiring on the 25th of September, looking, have no other options, looking at getting into courses. A lot of them have, families here. They've got children going to school. They've got spouses here. And for them, at this stage to go back to their home country is not really ideal, because New Zealand is at a place where we are being looked upon by the rest of the world. I really want to talk about the Masters of Business course, and I'm going to try and sort of delve deeper into these courses. So the Masters of Business course, now that course is a year or a year and a half course. How does it become a year or a year and a half? How does that differ?
So for students who have long holidays, they will have the breaks in between semesters, but it's hard work. But 1 year, you're out of the.
That makes perfect sense, because a lot of those people that are within New Zealand are looking at a November intake. They wouldn't wait till February. And so they've got the opportunity to finish this course within a year. And I think for someone that's a returning student, that is quite a big deal. They've already studied, they've been here for a few years, and instead of showing a year and a half living expenses, they can show 1 year living expenses. They can get onto the post-study work visas. So guys, if you get onto a master's again, I can confirm to you that you will get a 3-year open work visa again. So some really good options. When someone takes a master's course, the children can go to school, domestic fees, and the spouse can remain on an open work visa. Post-study, they get a 3-year open work visa, during which the spouse again remains on an open work visa, and the children can continue going to school at no fees as a domestic student. So there's obviously, really it's great for people that have been here and are really looking at using this time to upskill themselves. So they're ready for the economy when things pick up. Fantastic. I mean, you'll have people from different bachelor's degrees in New Zealand got on the wrong course and they're looking at getting into studying. So you could have any background and get into this master's. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. So this is what we call the 180 credit top masters. So for these two programs, the first semester, they will study 4 business fundamental courses. So it's fast track, build their business foundations, and then they get into their specialist programs courses. So the students who started for both programs, the first semester they'll be sharing the same class, but when they get to the following 2 semesters, they will then branch into. If you're interested in global management and marketing, you might get into subjects like managing program for change, supply chain management, managing marketing strategies. And then for the finance students, they might be looking at investment opportunity, that kind of banking. So, but then they will, at the last course, they will come back together and study 6 weeks together, but they'll be focusing on business analysis. It's like a capstone project. So they'll do a lot of, they'll work together and do a lot of case studies. So right now, for example, Professor Christopher Gunn, who is teaching the course, he is getting the students to analyze business cases post-COVID. How do you provide business solutions? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So so there's is there an internship component in the course itself?
There isn't an internship component, but there is what we call, it's more case studies, fast track kind of focus. It's more focusing on problem solving and how do you deal with the current issues using what you have studied. And it's a good idea to work as a team, because professionally you have to work with people across different disciplines and different departments to deal with the situation. I mean, we do have all the universities and the ITP sectors in New Zealand, you will have access to the career services, career centers. So we do work with the Canterbury Economics Development Corporation called Christchurch NZ. So they will come and give us, they will kind of help us to update the students on what the employment kind of situation is like within the region. Previously, we have the Job Ready program, which is currently on hold because of the COVID situation. But I was just going to say that, like, for example, our career services is working with Christchurch NZ to look at 2 workshops in the end of this month to help our graduates looking at employability
Okay,
post-COVID.
that's brilliant. So, I mean, just to sort of reiterate, so you've got the masters, 1 year masters if you start in November. There's scholarships if you've got a bachelor's with B plus. Doesn't matter when the bachelor's was done. And there's options. Obviously, the spouse gets an open work visa. The kids can go on to study in domestic fees. And so the next question that I often get asked, and there's a question that's being asked here as well, is there an option for people? So, when they come from offshore, they have to pay for the entire fees, entire year upfront, and they get the 1 year visa. Within New Zealand, we've done visas for a long time where you can pay in installments and paid by the semester and get the visa for the semester. But that's easier on the pocket because then they can, reuse their living expenses for the next semester. Is there an option for them to pay in that payment plan?
Yeah, our finance departments are actually very, they're very human. So
That's good to know.
I mean, we will ask for permission. And so you just need to let us know in advance. The students are able to pay by semester, then we will get approval from our finance department. I think for us, it's important that we help students to achieve their profession development opportunities. We do understand that it's quite hard to fund if you don't get the scholarship for whatever reasons. It's quite hard to front out 42,750 in one go. I don't have that in my bank.
No, but I know that people, that have been saving for years because, international education is a really big deal. But I think also a scholarship is almost like boosting your morale and your confidence in knowing that, you can get it and your friends didn't get it and you've got the grades, and it's that recognition of your caliber. So I personally find it fantastic, even if it's a small amount, because that appreciates a student's credibility. Perfect. To know what's the duration of this one and what kind of people do you normally accept for this course?
For the Master of Business in Finance?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Again, that is designed for students from any disciplines. So it's a conversion master's. Students can be from any background. But to be fair, I do say that students, you do need to be good with numbers. You want to like the numbers. If you're like me, I'm very passionate about the business strategies. Numbers, I can do numbers, but I'm not good at it. So I'm better to do it. Yeah,
I think, and that's really good advice, because we want these people that are getting into these courses, putting their lifetime savings to be able to be a success at it. There's no point getting into a course that you're going to fail or set them up to fail. The other one then, so what are the outcomes normally? Like, is this program already running? Where are these students being placed? Do you have any stats or any details on employability or where these people have been placed in these courses?
I think I don't have the kind of the specific details because we have been running this program in the last 5 years. Students, I just want to take a step. I'm not answering your questions directly, but I just want to take back about the myth about employability and job hunting. So there's one thing that's important. In each of the students, it's very different, even though you're in the same class. So when you search for jobs, one is your undergraduate qualification plus your master's. That is one thing. Then the other thing is about your personality, whether you can link yourself to that particular culture. When I say culture, is that particular company's culture.
That's right.
And how confident you are, and also your how you present yourself. This is why we have we work with our career services with Crashes in Zig about the Job Ready program up till now, because up till now we had kind of like opportunities for our students to use internship opportunities through that channel, but because of COVID we couldn't quite use it. So what I'm saying is that you might be from engineering background. You do a Master of Business in Global Management and Marketing. So when you finish your study, you go back and actually you might go back to an engineering firm, but focusing on the developing of a business. You might become a business development manager, or you might be coming from a accounting background. You do your Master of Business in Finance. Then you might go into a bank, become a business analyst. You might go into a investment company looking at portfolio investment. So because of that, it's actually quite hard to link. Say you studied this, it's unlike our Master of Science in Food Innovation. You study our food science, you get into food science industry because that is a very technical specialist program. But this is more generic. So whatever you do, you combine it's like an onion. Your layer of your experience make you unique to a particular job. And not
I think you've kind of hit.
Yeah.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, because that's something we had a session yesterday on exactly this. We were talking about international education and what people really need to think when they're looking at this course. Because I mean, often I'm talking to these people that are overseas and they've got just a completely different idea about New Zealand, the job market. And we're like, well, it's not that. It's the soft skills. It's skills that, you don't learn in a textbook. It's skills that you learn from other places. And that's, and I'm really glad that you've touched upon that, employment support and career support, because I've actually seen that venue and I've visited your campus, and I've seen the library and I've seen all of that. So I think it's fantastic. I've seen the little room where those people sit and they have one-on-one counseling. So I think that's what the deal breaker is, isn't it? That's what's really important, that adds those soft skills. If you have any questions, absolutely contact us and one of our team members can help you, and we can help you with finding the right course for you, getting you the visa sorted, plus getting the visa sorted for the entire family. And we'll also throw in the career options in there. Annie, look, I thank you so much. You're obviously this treasure box of information and knowledge, because you've been in the industry for such a long time. Is there anything that you want to talk about before we wrap this up? We will have you back because we've got so much more to cover.
Yeah, I do want to say that I actually shared it with some students recently. I just want to say that, time is tough. Please stay calm.